right, so it's about that time where I jump straight into what we're talking about today. And I said that today I'm going to talk about how to make it work. Okay, we have given it quite some good background. Now we want to look at how to make long distance relationship work. Are you ready for this? Now, if you're ready, shoot me some comments there and say I'm ready, and just give the thumbs up or just splash the love around and let's know that you're ready. Okay, yes, I see the love coming up. So, wow, how do you make it work? How do you make it work? How do you make it work? First, you have to be convinced that you're in a relationship with the right person. Yeah, I see you guys are already correct. You have to be convinced that you're in a relationship with the right person. And this will take me back to that point I made earlier about having a purpose for your relationship. And don't also forget that I have always established that what we do in Single and Ready Club is prepare people for marriage. We don't just talk about relationship for the sake of having a boyfriend or girlfriend. It's in the view of marriage. Okay? So the purpose of your relationship should be that you guys want to get married to each other. And this has to be agreed by both of you. Okay? And I've always said that when the purpose of the marriage is clear and both of you are in sync, all right, it makes your entire conversations and the entire relationship, it makes it easier, it makes it purposeful. It helps you know what you're looking out for. It helps you to tell yourself the truth, help you to weigh things properly and objectively. The behaviors you're seeing now, are you ready to take them into marriage? Are you ready to experience them in marriage? Okay, if this person does not drop these behaviors, are you ready to stay in the marriage true for life with these kind of behaviors? That's why it's important that your relationship is defined and that marriage is the goal. If not, you'll just be wasting your time. People do 8 years in a relationship and there is no commitment. They can't even see the future in that relationship. That's a waste of time and a waste of life. 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years and counting. And there is no commitment. When are we going to get married? Later. Meanwhile, you have supplied him all the benefits of marriage. You live in the house, you cook, you wash his clothes, you have sex at will. I mean, why is he going to get married again? Because he's already married, he's already living the life. Okay, and without the liabilities, without having to go through all the commitments. So it's better for him. You see, I'm not endorsing that, but I'm just telling you that is why many times you see the ladies are complaining that we've dated for a long time, but he's not saying anything. And I say, if he's not saying anything, then you bounce. You don't waste your life there. All right, so be convinced, first of all, that you're in a relationship with the right person. When I mean the right person, I mean somebody who also desires to spend the rest of his life with you. Another thing I see with a lot of young people is where one person is the one who desires the other in the relationship and the other person is just indifferent. And you're there falling head over heels for her. Oh, she must agree. Oh, she's the one. Oh, if I don't date her, I will not date any other person again. Oh my, you're setting yourself up for big heartbreak, for problems. That's what you're doing. So be sure that the person that you are saying you want to get married to also wants to get married to you. Don't just assume that she will fall for you. Don't assume that, no, when I trouble her life, no, when I go date her radar, I'll send her gifts, I'll do this, I'll choke her with love. Forget her. If she will not agree, she will not agree. She will enjoy everything you're sending to her and she will move on. I wonder why this is difficult for some guys. Some guys just believe that you must harass the girl until she agrees. And if she says no, it becomes a problem. No. If she doesn't want to get married to you, respect her opinion. If you are so serious about her, give her time. But don't choke her life with messages. Half hour last discussion now. Oh, you don't know what you are doing to me. Oh, why can't you date me? Oh, my heart is wounded. Oh, this one, that one. Okay, calm down. Now, we could go the other way too. Sometimes it's the ladies. He hasn't said anything, but you have already dashed in your life. I give myself away so you can have me and use me as you want. You don't do that. If he doesn't want to get married to you, then please save your esteem, save your respect, save your value, and wait for the person who would want to get married to you. So be sure you're in the relationship with the right person first. Be sure that the person wants to get married to you. All right, and like I always say, in the foreseeable future. In the foreseeable future, not when, indefinitely. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. What's that? It's not going anywhere. You are going out of that relationship. Okay, someone says the same with the lady falling for a man who doesn't, agree to be in her life forever. Yeah, that's the truth. Aha, true confessions. Someone says I've been there before. Oh yes, because this thing happens. It happens. Okay, and that is why we do these sessions, so that we can help people to make those decisions. Many times the decision is right there in your heart. You know the right thing to do, but you are so weakened, your will is so weakened, you're looking for more reasons to avoid the truth. Meanwhile, the truth is staring you in the face. It's telling you, leave there, get out of that relationship, get out now, end it now. But then you're thinking of so many things. How will I start another one? Oh, I'm getting old. What if I don't see anybody? How will I now start afresh after all these years? No, listen, if it's not going anywhere, you have to pull the plug. You owe it to yourself to pull the plug. Anyway, let me not overemphasize this point, but I think I've said it enough. Be convinced you are in the right relationship, first of all. Okay, and then as we continue, you'll see where it both adds up, or where it all adds up. All right, now after you're convinced that this is the right person for you, all right, you're sure, you guys have a conversation, you have a purpose, you have a vision for your relationship, and that vision is marriage, and it's in the near future that you can see and you can plan towards. Okay, and then of course you've done every other check, spirit, soul, and body, and you're convinced this is the person you want to spend your life with. Excellent. Okay, that's a good point. Now another thing that is very key is that the duration of that distance has to be determined. It has to be agreed upon by both of you. If you're going for your master's degree program outside of town, how long is it going to last? For how long are you going to be out? While you're out there, am I going to come and visit you? Am I planning to also move over? Do you plan to come back after your master's or your PhD program? Do you understand? All of this conversation has to happen. It needs to be clear. Okay, I know people, or I've heard of situations where one party is going out of the country to do a master's degree program. The other partner is in Nigeria waiting for the person to come back, and that one that has gone has no plans to come back. Oga don't move, or the lady has moved, she has moved on, and the other one is still there waiting. You see, what happened? The communication was not clear, or somebody was just being deceptive. But you don't deceive somebody you're in love with. You don't do that. Okay, so it has to be clear. For how long are we going to be out? How long are we going to be out? Masters, okay, after masters, you want to work for a bit. Excellent. How long is that a bit going to be? Inside this working a bit, when are we getting married? Okay, and when we get married, where are we going to base? Are we going to base out there? Are you coming back? Should I also be making arrangement to go and meet you out there? All of these have to be discussed and agreed upon. Don't do long distance relationship indefinitely. No. Don't do marriage indefinitely distant from each other. As a matter of fact, if you're too distant after a while and there is no communication, that marriage can even be annulled. Okay, so it has to be clear. How long are we apart for? How long? Someone is asking if it's being recorded. Yes, it is, and we're going to share this on our IG handle after the session. It's also on Mixlr, the audio stream, and then after some time we will upload it on our YouTube channel. So it is very recorded and it is available for repeat consumption. All right, yeah. So you have to be clear. For how long are we apart? Is it 1 year? Is it 2 years? Is it 3 years? During those 3 years, what are we doing? How are we working towards the marriage? What are we doing towards getting back together? You guys have to actively be planning for when you get back together. All right? Not indefinite relationship. All right? Not indefinite. You have to agree. Someone says it's love in the diaspora. If that diaspora does not have an expiry date, that relationship will cast though. Yeah, it could just hit the rocks. So these things are very key, very key. You need to take note of this. So another thing that you need to know, in fact, I feel like I should have kept this point I'm coming to now for last, but let me just bring it up here because I just feel like it's the most important thing. And what is it? The next point is communication. Communication is the most important part of your relationship. Communication is all, in fact, it's everything about your relationship. How are you going to find out the things you want to find out? It's mostly by communication. It's mostly by interaction. And this is another area where people make mistakes in their relationship. Because when they are supposed to be discussing, they are having sex. When they're supposed to be discussing and objectively analyzing things and thinking and planning for their future, they are looking at each other's bodies and tripping for shape and size and this and that. And they start doing. At the end of the day, your judgment is clouded, you are confused, you know you should not be here, but you can't leave. You know, it's just, don't forget what I said. Once you start getting sexually involved, complication is setting in. Complication is knocking at the door, it's bouncing in. Alright? So, you guys have to discuss. You guys have to talk a lot. You have to talk a lot. Someone said ask questions. Yeah. You have to ask questions. You have to talk a lot. A lot. Talk about everything. And this is one of the things that should be a signal for you. If you and your partner are not friends enough to the point where you guys always enjoy gisting, always enjoy talking to each other, there can be a problem there. It might be a sign that this relationship is not meant to lead towards marriage. Because in marriage, your partner is supposed to be your closest buddy, your closest companion. I've said this over and over again. In marriage, your partner, try your best possible for your partner to be your best friend. The one you always want to give updates to, the one you want to gossip with, the one you want to give every gist, every matter arising. Okay, everything. You want to discuss everything with your spouse. Not that you're married to one person and you have two other people out there, especially members of the opposite gender, who are now your besties, who are your closest friends, or who you can tell everything. And then you start discussing what's going on in your marriage and in your bedroom with them. That is crazy. That's recipe for disaster. In fact, that's emotional cheating, emotional infidelity. You don't do that. So communication between you and your partner, very key. And that is why if you guys are not friends enough, if you're not friends enough where you enjoy talking to each other, where you can discuss about his work and he can discuss about your work, where you can discuss about each other's businesses, where you know about each other's friends, you know about each other's places of work, you know about each other's families, you can discuss, you have same values, you are in sync in everything that matters to you. If you have that kind of person, then you guys should enjoy friendship and communication, because that is what will sustain that relationship. Listen to me, the communication can be so strong and so rich that even in the distance, you guys don't even feel the space, because you are always talking. Always talking. I know someone who's always talking with her friend, always discussing. In the bathroom, discussing. In the kitchen, discussing. Eating, discussing. Always talking. Why? Because it's friendship. It's not a task. It's not work. They enjoy each other. They can talk all day. When you have that kind of friendship with your spouse, if the person likes, let him be in Australia and you are in Nigeria, you guys will discuss and be a part of each other's day, to the extent that you will hardly feel like you are far apart from each other. Hardly. There's how you discuss that you even create the images in your mind. You visualize your conversation. You feel like you're there with them in the house. You feel like you're with each other all the time. That's how powerful communication is. You need to pay attention to this and take it very seriously. And with technology these days, it's now very easy. There is cheap and affordable data now. It's very easy now. Several platforms for free. Just have data on your phone. You can do what? Let me never start calling all of them. There are several options. Do you understand? If you are really in love with someone who is your friend, you guys will enjoy talking with each other. And this conversation does not even have to be planned. It does not have agenda. It's not what are we talking about today? Okay, how is your mother? How is your father? How is your office? How is there's I say what's up now? What's up? I remember our friend I used to have. This guy can ask you what's up like 10 times in 2 minutes. Hey, so guy, have fun now. Hey, cool, what's up? Yeah, cool. Yeah, so what's up? You see, I just answered that what's up just now. Hey, I'm fine. Okay, cool. Yeah, okay. So what's popping now? You've been wondering. Okay, yeah. So what's going on, man? My guy. Guy. If there's nothing to say, shut up and be comfortable. Do you understand? Be comfortable in your silence. Be comfortable in your quietness. We don't have to gist. Which one is what's up, how far, what's up, what's that? No, stop it. Okay? But mostly that happens when there is nothing to discuss. And that's another challenge. When there's nothing to discuss, end the conversation. Tell the person, okay, you know what? We'll continue later. I gotta go now. End the conversation. Don't start asking stupid questions. What's the color of your gate? Has your dog eaten? Is your grandmother? When the conversation is over, end it. But guess what? When you're talking with somebody who is really your friend, you guys will hardly run out of conversation. And even when you do, it will not be a challenge for both of you to be quiet. There are times that you're quiet with each other, 30 minutes, nobody's saying anything, but you're still there on the call. The call hasn't ended. But you're just quiet and enjoying the quietness. And then something happens and I say, see what this guy said, see what this person did. And you just pick up the conversation after like 30 minutes or 1 hour of break. Yes, it happens. It happens. I mean, thank God there's a lot of hands-free these days, so you're not even holding your phone. But no. Just plug your ears and you are doing what you're doing and you are discussing with your spouse. It is very important. Communication cannot be overemphasized. This is very key. This is very, very key, and you need to take note of this deliberately so that you can enrich your relationship. Because guess what? While you guys are far apart, what would bridge that physical distance is the conversations. It's the conversations. He's not going to be there to hug you. She's not going to be there to give you a peck. Alright? But the conversations can to a large extent fill the void. It can close the gap. The chances that you have time to go and do kurukere waka will not even happen because you guys are always talking. She knows your agenda. She knows where you're going to next. She knows how your typical day runs. He knows everything about you. He knows what you're doing tomorrow. He knows what you're doing next tomorrow. He knows when it's time for that meeting. He knows when you have deliverables. You guys are so in sync that you are almost a part of each other's lives. It works. It happens. Okay, that's how powerful communication is. Let me move on to the next point. Okay, so I've talked about communication deliberately. You have to communicate deliberately and enjoy discussing with each other. All right, the next point is you guys have to come up with routines or activities that you would do together. So come up with routines. It can be anything that you both enjoy. It can be that you read books together and you do book reviews. Today we're reviewing chapter 1 of so book. Okay, I've read it, you've read it. What do we have to say about the book? What are our thoughts? We share our thoughts. Come up with routine activities. Devotions. Read the Bible together. Read portions of the Bible together. Listen to messages together. Discuss it afterwards. Come up with routine activities. Alright, stream a particular live event together. This one is connected from here, you are connected from there. Be in the same event. Listen to the same things. Do routines, get those things that you guys can do together. Several things like that. You can leverage on the internet and have routine activities. This will also help with the bonding. This will also help you guys feel like you are there with each other even if you are far apart. That's how powerful communication is. Alright, so find routine activities that you both can do together. Find games. You can even play video games online. If you're game freaks, you can play games online. This one is in one part of the world, the other one is in one part of the world, but you guys are connected over the internet, competing with each other or competing against other people. You can play games together. There's so many things you can do. Alright, but the point is deliberately build together those activities. When somebody is really your friend, you guys don't get bored of being with each other. Because even that boredom becomes a subject for discussion. Yeah. Oh boy, I'm so bored. In fact, everywhere just did one kind. In fact, if you guys start discussing with the boredom, you use the boredom to start gist. Because you enjoy talking. You enjoy being with each other. Do you understand? If that is not the case with the person you're in a relationship with, then distance will not work for you people. You guys will have problems. Like a friend used to say, problem. You have problem. Plenty problem. Alright? Now the fifth point I will share is be true to yourself and to the commitment of your relationship. I'll say it again. Be true to yourself and to the commitment of your relationship. Why am I saying this? Because there will be times when your body will want that physical intimacy. You have sexual urges as a human being. You're a human, you're not wood. Alright? You're not a robot. You have sexual urges. There are times when your body will almost be on fire. You feel like, man, I need somebody here now. And your partner is not around. Alright? Now, of course, even when you guys are not far apart, if you understand, if it's a Christian relationship, you understand that you should preserve yourselves till marriage. Okay, so don't get confused and start saying, it's because he's not around, we're not doing. When he's around, we can be doing. Don't forget what I always say. When you start getting sexually involved, you've welcomed complication into that relationship. Everything changes. Alright, this is so deep. I don't have the time to explain it now. Alright, so point is, be true to yourself and to your commitment. There are times you will feel like that. When you feel like that, what should you do? Should you go about and start looking for who is going to help you fill that void? No, you don't do that. You say, okay, my guy is not around. Let me just get one boy where they always talk to me for area. This is my colleague, or you go to the club, or you go to all those kind of places. No, you don't do that. Remind yourself of the commitment you have with this person. The Bible says something about Jesus, that who for the joy set ahead, he endured the cross, scorning his shame, all the reproach and all the suffering he had to go through, because there was a joy set ahead. You have to remind yourself time and time again of the joy set ahead in your relationship. Remind yourself of marriage that's in view. Remind yourself of all the beautiful things that you guys are going to enjoy together. Do you understand? You need to do that so that you can suppress that pressure. And don't forget, I always tell people, you must know that you have control over your mind. You do. Your mind does not control you. You control your mind. Yes, you control your mind. You need to know that. So don't feel like every time you feel in a particular way, you must indulge. No, don't do that. If you keep indulging, then you are weakening your defenses. 1. 2, you are sowing seeds of infidelity in your marriage. Because it's the same discipline you use as a single that you would use as a married person. It's the same discipline. And it's the same indiscipline you have as a single person that you would have as a married person. Okay, so there will be those times, but please do your best to be true to your relationship, to the commitment you have made. Okay, and don't try to be a Superman, man. Don't try to be a Superman. Be true to yourself. When you feel this way, know that you are in a vulnerable state. Don't go and start looking for the people that will help you, gratify that desire. That's why you have to be deliberate about this. Be true to yourself. Pray, God, help me. There's something that what's this comedian who used to say? Do something before something do me. Help me, Lord. Yeah. You have to be intentional about this. If not, you would find yourself truly loving your partner, yet actively cheating on them. And somebody's going to ask me, can you really cheat on somebody you love? Don't worry, one day we'll talk about cheating, and I think I'll break it down for you. But that's the indiscipline I'm talking about. Because yes, your heart can be somewhere, but your habits are leading you to something that is contrary to where your heart is. Habits. And how do you get those habits? By every occasion of indulgence. Every time you indulge, you are strengthening that habit. You don't want to do this, but you find yourself always doing it. And then you start crying out like Apostle Paul. Oh, wretched man that I am. The things I don't want to do, I find myself doing. Help me, oh God, deliver me from this body of death. Because you're saying that I don't want to, but you feel like you are helpless. In that case, you have so weakened your will that even when your heart says no, your body says yes. It's a case of the spirit is willing, the flesh is weak. Or the spirit is saying no, but the flesh is gingering yes. Do you understand that? So please be true to your commitment, all right? Don't try to be a Superman. Don't pretend. Pray about it, or pray about every single thing. God help me, oh God, oh help me, oh I don't want to come under this pressure, And then deliberately take your mind away from it. I did an exercise with people, in one of my live events one time, and we can do it here. Right now, just think about something. Think about anything. Okay, let's just do it very quickly. Think about a plate of fried rice, garnished just the way you like it, the way you love it. Think about fried rice, all right? While that is going on, okay, think about a football field right now, all right? Okay, now think about a sports car. Imagine that beautiful sports car driving into the football field, and the doors going up like that, just imagine it. Okay, now if you have been able to follow these pictures I have painted in your mind, okay, those are clear examples of the fact that you can deliberately take your mind where you want it to go, take it out of there to the next place, take it out of there to the next place, take it out of there to the next place, and take it out of there to the next place. Point is, you can control what you're thinking of. So when those pressure come and when the thoughts come so strong, please feel free to find something else to focus your attention and your interest on. You can do it. That is not the time to start looking for the erotic movies to watch. That's not the time to start chatting with that girl that always indulges your flirty chats. That's not the time to go and start looking at pornography. That's not the time to go and start looking for who is available, going on dating sites to look for who you can hook up with. That is not the time to do all of that. Why? Because all of those will be weakening your defenses. Because you have to stay true to this relationship. And then let me even tell you something. This thing is not affecting only you. Guess what? There's a very important principle about life. People don't see the world the way it is. They see the world the way they are. Let me tell you something. From the moment you start cheating on your spouse, you start suspecting that your spouse too is doing the same thing. Yeah. You start suspecting. Why? Because you know exactly what you're doing, and you would almost feel like, how do I know this person is not doing the same thing? So at that point where you see her call and you don't pick it up because you are running things, all right, the next time you call her and she's not picking up, you're also going to think, is somebody there with her? Why? Because you know why you don't pick up the call. Every time you find an excuse to buy some time away so that you can indulge in what you want to do, all right, the next time she gives you any reason that is like that, maybe she tells you, I'm not going to be around my phone for the next 2 hours. You're going to say, Chai, you better see somebody visitor, she don't get visitor. And before you know it, you start giving her attitude. Well, for the past 2 hours I've been calling you. Why didn't you pick? Where were you? Who is there with you? Oh yeah, put it on video. You know all this nonsense. Put it on video. Turn the video around. Who is there? I can hear a voice. I can hear a sound. Even if it's from the next compound. You're no more at peace. Why? Because you know exactly what you could be doing in that situation. You see? So that is part of the reasons why you should just do your best to keep it pure. Keep it clean. Keep the integrity in the relationship up. Why? Because you are preserving yourself and your spouse. You are helping your mind. That is why I told you, that's why I keep saying that when you start getting sexually involved, you are welcoming in all kinds of complications. Let me move on. Okay? And guess what? Another benefit of staying true to your partner, it helps you to be able to gist freely. You don't need to cover up anything. You don't need to. Do you know when you're telling the truth, right? You don't need to think about it too much. But when you're telling lies, you have to be careful to remember those your lies. If not, in the future you will tell another lie that will cancel the first one you told. And your partner, if it's the guy that is lying to the girl, women know they forget something. She will remind you of that first one you said. Problem of enter. You will start explaining. No, it's not like what I was trying to say is that. No, as in what I meant. No, you didn't get it. You start changing out. Okay? But it's easy when you're telling the truth. You don't have to memorize it. Anytime they ask you what is it, you will say it. If they wake you up and say, what did you say that time? You will say it again. Why? Because it is the truth. It is what it is. You're not afraid. It is just what it is. Do you understand that? Alright, so it's part of the benefits of staying true to your spouse. You don't need to overthink your responses. You speak freely. You're not hiding anything. You don't have to cover your tracks. Okay, you don't have to tell another lie to cover the other lie and cover the other one. Okay, next point. I think this will be the 6th point. The next thing you need to do is to remind yourselves of the big picture. Encourage yourselves that, this stage will soon pass. I can't wait to be with you again. I can't wait for when we'll be fully married and you'll be in my arms. I can't wait. Remind yourselves of the big picture. Speak about those things you have always desired. Speak about the vacations you'll be doing together. Paint those pictures. Visualization is very key in every area of your life. If you want to be successful, you must be able to see the future and bring it to your reality and superimpose it in your consciousness so that it forms your reality. So talk about what you guys want to enjoy together. Talk about the times you'll be together, how pleasant it will be, how beautiful it will be, all that you guys will do together, how you will so enjoy yourselves, how you will make each other the most fantastic spouses or partners in the world. Talk about those things. Keep the big picture in your mind. When you are consumed with the big picture together, you will know that this distance has to quickly end so that we can go and be together. Very, very key. So remind yourselves always of the big picture and always encourage yourselves that this phase will soon end. It will soon pass. All right. If it's a master's degree, it will soon end. At the max, it's 2 years, depending on the country. If it's a PhD program, well, you have between 3 or 4 to 9 years, depending on the country and depending on the program. But I don't know what you're doing away from your spouse in a 9-year program that you people will be away for 9 years. Okay, there are ways you guys can work it out. Okay, so point is, remind yourselves of the big picture and let that be one of the things that will be binding your hearts together. All right, now while you're doing all of that, the 7th point, have very clear boundaries. Yes, this is very important. You need to have very clear boundaries. What are you not going to do? Where are you not going to go to? What kind of people are you not going to allow in your house? What kind of people are you not going to visit? What kind of events are you not going to attend? What kind of programs are you not going to watch on the TV, or on your computers, or on your devices, whatever it is? Have very clear boundaries. These boundaries will save your life. What time you should be home, what times you cannot be found outside no matter what. All right, and even if there's a development around any of these boundaries, your spouse, your partner has to be fully in the know. All right, you have to be out for a particular engagement. They need to be in the know. They need to know where you're going to. They need to know what time you will be done. Listen, it's for accountability. I'm not saying anyone is policing you. It's just accountability. Do you understand? You need to be the one to tell them, hey, guess what? There's some development. I can't get home early today because there's this report I have to finish up. I'm working with the team. I was staying longer in the office, I will most likely be here another 2 hours after work closes. Accountability, let them know. It doesn't have to be a phone call. You can send a message, you can drop a WhatsApp message. All right, but let there be clear boundaries. Listen to me, you human beings who don't know what boundaries is. Don't have girlfriend and still be talking with your ex that you have not gotten over. And you are visiting your ex. You say she's doing her birthday. I just say let me attend. What's all that nonsense? You still have strong feelings for this girl. You know that she hasn't gotten over you. And then you're saying you want to be visiting. What visit is that? So have sense and set boundaries, for goodness sake. You don't go to that kind of event. You see, out of everybody in the world who can escort you to a particular show or program you're going for, is that boy that you're tripping for. Out of everyone in the world who can accompany you for that function, is that person you have strong feelings for that you want to go with? You're setting yourself up. Do you understand? So your boundaries should be very clear in your head. Feel free to tell people no and not give them a reason for saying no. Feel free to do that. Hey, come, let's hang out. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not chanced. Why? Because I'm not chanced. Simple. You don't have to explain nothing. I am not chanced. I don't want to hang out. Simple. What is the thing is, don't explain nothing. You are not around. You travel. So have clear boundaries. You know that you're someone who is struggling with managing your sexual urges, and then you want to be going to the strip club with your friends because they say it's Friday night, let's go and hang out, and then you carry yourself and go out. Have clear boundaries, for goodness sake. Know the kind of people that should not be around you. There are certain friends that don't have anything positive in their contribution to your life. There are people like that. Cut them off. Have very clear boundaries. If you have friends who every time you discuss with them, all they are suggesting to you are things that are contrary to your value system, cut them off. Have very clear boundaries. That's what I'm saying. Have very clear boundaries. That's how you save yourself and your spouse. Have very clear boundaries. Don't go everywhere you're invited. Don't set up yourself. You know those things that will trigger, those lustful feelings. Don't indulge those kind of occasions. Don't do that. You owe it to yourself to protect yourself. That is why love is a very serious thing. That's why love is commitment. Love is not just feelings. Because if it's just feelings, the same way you think you have feelings for this person you're calling your partner is the same way that with indiscipline, you will have the same feelings for every other thing that looks like that partner around you. You say, I like the ones that have big breasts. No problem. You will see several that have big breasts. Is that what is determining your relationship? I like shape. You will see several that have good shape. Do you understand what I'm saying? So is that what your relationship is based on? You say, I like guys that are tall and rich. There are several that are tall and rich. Does it mean every tall and rich guy that comes your way, you are going to fall for him? And I like those with broad chest. I like broad chest. I like the build, 6 packs. No problem. There are several people with 6 packs. What if some of them got those packs by beating up ladies like you? Do you understand? So you don't base your relationship on any of those things that are external or those things that are fleeting, temporal things. You don't do that. What point was I even explaining before? Clear boundaries. Have clear boundaries. Clear boundaries. There are certain people you will not see. There are certain people you will not pick their call. There are certain people that you will not, honor their invitations. You will always have a reason to not be there. Yes, you need to have clear boundaries. There are certain places you will not go to. There are certain events you would not watch. If you cannot boldly do it with your spouse, then don't do it. Then don't go there. There are certain conversations you should not have. Please help me copy those that like to flirt in their chats and midnight call. Help me copy them in this conversation. You should not have certain conversations. When somebody is now trying to get into your sexuality or your sexual history or your... that is not open for conversation. Hello, mind your business. Yeah, people are so bold these days. You start talking with somebody and the next thing you're hearing is, how do you like it? Like what? Is your head correct? I'll try not to say one example. Certain conversations should not come near you. You cut it as soon as it's starting. You end it with a warning. Hello, please don't you bring this kind of conversation around me again. I don't tolerate such. Make it very clear. Like what? Useless talk. Useless talk. So avoid some of those things. Have very clear boundaries. Very clear boundaries. Don't joke with yourself. Don't feel like, I can handle it. I know how far I will push it, then I'll cut it before it gets too far. No. Don't even start. Don't get on that journey. Don't get on that journey. If you don't know what to do at night and you have data, go on YouTube and learn a skill. Play your Sunday message in your church if it blessed you. Play something, play any seminar. There's too much resources on YouTube. There's a lot you can do instead of looking for who to be having sex chat with. Have clear boundaries, young man and young lady. That's what I'm saying. Have very clear boundaries. Let me move on because I want to finish this today, so I do something else next week. Okay. Oh, I like this point. The next point. This is the 8th point. Focus on your relationship and don't be comparing it with other people's own. Focus on your own. Focus on making your own work. There are some people who spend more time analyzing and studying every other person's relationship out there instead of focusing on their own. Alright? So focus on your own relationship. Your own. You have your own. Focus on it. Don't be looking at other people. If you have somebody, stay with her or stay with him. And this is why you guys need to understand this. Relationship is commitment. That's why you don't make this commitment if you don't think you can get married to the person. It's not a commitment of let's just be each other's bodies for now. Let's see how things go. No. At that point, you people are friends. No emotional commitments like that. You manage it. You manage your heart. Do you understand? You have to do that. If not, you just find yourself dating everything that comes your way. Every male friend that has passed through your life in these 19 years of your life, every male friend you have dated. How about now? Every female friend that is close to you in these past 25 years of your life, it had to be a relationship. You had to date her. How far with you? And you know, in the contemporary world, when we say dating, we're saying that you're sexually involved. Do you understand? In the contemporary world, of course, that's not my standard. My standard is be friends. Keep it pure as friends. When it's time to become a relationship, both of you will agree that, okay, we think we can get married to each other in the near future. Oh yeah, let us start. Let it now become a relationship. And at the point where it becomes a relationship, you tune down, you zone out from every other person. Because now you have a focus, now you have a commitment. Thank you, Perry. This Perry, you sabi. He said that body counts up and down. You can't be having body counts everywhere. You meet this one today, you sleep there. You go here, you sleep there. You go there, you sleep there. You go there, you sleep there. You are complicating your life. Take it from me. See, I'm not trying to be religious about this. You are complicating your life. I've not even spoken much about spiritual consequences of these things. Because when God warns you or warns us as humans not to do certain things or to do certain things, it's for our own good. It's not for his good, for goodness sake. It does not affect him. It does not stop him from being God. But it's for your own good. The Bible says, can a man scoop, fire into his bosom and not be burned? Can you walk on hot coals and your feet will not be scorched? He says that's what happens when you go out running after another person's wife. Yes, because if you are not married to her, she's another person's wife. Even though she's not married, but she's not your own. She's for another person. Why are you pursuing her? So you have to be deliberate about this. Focus on your own relationship. You have somebody, focus on that person. Focus on that person. And this is where I sound a very clear warning to those of you who are kings of physical or spec people. You spec people. Be warned though, because you will see somebody that beats your partner in that your physical spec. You will find somebody else. Be warned. Your choice of relationship has to be based on weightier matters of purpose and vision, not just external spec. Let me move on because of time, because we need to start winding down right now. Okay. The 9th point I would say is be humble. Don't take me there. Somebody is asking me what about sexual compatibility. Which one is sexual compatibility? Thank you for asking that question. Maybe I should treat it. This is something people confuse themselves with. You say, I want to know whether I'm sexually compatible. That concept is erroneous. I'm looking for the grammar to describe this. It's just designed to complicate and destroy your life. Who told you have to go and be testing people up and down to be checking compatibility? That is not where you check for compatibility. No, you complicate your life. That's what you're looking for. You are looking for complications in your life and in your relationship. You don't do that. The way sex is designed, it's sacred. It's not meant to be given to everybody. It's supposed to be given to that person that becomes your partner. When you are married, in the confines of marriage, you both will learn how to satisfy each other at your own pace. Yes. Stop this useless deception that you have to go and check whether you are comfortable. Who sent you that one now? They told you to keep something to yourself. You went to go and be sharing it with everybody. Now you are looking for compatibility. Then you are with Mr. A. You are comparing Mr. A with Mr. B to Z that you have slept with. Of course, one person cannot give you what all other 26 people gave you now. Do you understand? So don't even do that. Forget that concept of sexual compatibility. Stay true to your relationship. When you guys are ready, both of you will learn the ropes and you will enjoy yourselves the way you are. You will teach each other how to pleasure each other and you will have so much fun doing that. Please, stop comparing others, stop sleeping with other people because you say you're checking compatibility. You will mess things up for your relationship and your marriage eventually. So thank you for leading me to that point. How many minutes do I have? Okay, let me round up on the last point I was talking about. I said be humble and apologize when there's a misunderstanding. Seek peace between yourselves. Don't allow misunderstanding to breed. Don't allow it to stay for long. Because when that happens, already you guys are not physically together. So when you now strain your communication, you are just straining the relationship and it can die out. That's why you hear people say things like, oh, we just grew apart. Oh, we just lost the vibes for each other. Okay, because many times there were offenses and those offenses were not treated. Okay, so please know when to apologize to each other. When you are angry with each other, when there's a misunderstanding, seek peace and pursue it. Listen to me, oh Mr. Man, and you must not be right. Don't always make her be the one that is at fault. And listen to me, auntie, you must not be right. Don't always make him be the one to be at fault and he must apologize to you. No, in the spirit of love, okay, and compromise, you guys should be able to compromise for each other. Don't be always looking for who is right or who is wrong. Some people don't know where to apply this thing. You are competitive in your office, you come back to your relationship and you're still competitive with your wife. You must win all the time. Come on. Know when to say, hey, it's okay, wow, you're right. Oh, I think we should go with your idea. Oh, that's so true. Oh, I'm sorry, I thought otherwise. Learn how to apologize and seek peace when there is a misunderstanding. Very, very important. I'll end with this very point, which is, of course, the fulcrum of all of these things, which is trust. There must be trust in your relationship. If there's no trust, in the first place, I don't even know what you're doing. Because it's only by trust, by faith, that you will believe or agree that your partner is not doing any misgivings where he or she is. Trust. I called you severally. Why didn't you pick? Oh, I'm sorry. I was in a session and my phone had to be silent. It was in my bag. Believe it. Don't go and start probing. Don't go and start asking stupid questions up and down. Trust that she has the good of the relationship at heart. And believe. Alright? Give people the benefit of the doubt. Allow them show themselves for who they are before you go and start assuming nonsense. I know many people who have destroyed good relationships because of suspicion. The way he's behaving, that's how my ex used to do. Now anytime my ex did like that, it means he was carrying a woman. Then you go and start judging your current because of your ex. You see why too much experience is not good for you. You see? You're going to be putting problem in your current relationship because of past experiences you had. Who sent you all those experiences? So trust. If there's no trust in the relationship, end it and look for who you can trust. If the problem is with you, then don't get in a relationship with anybody until you can fix your trust issues. Because that's what's going on all over the world. People who are hurt, people who are messed up emotionally, messed up ideas, messed up belief systems, they carry themselves and say they want to love. And they carry one innocent daughter or son of somebody's child and go and mess up the person's life with their own insecurities, with their own problems. Somebody says, what if the suspicion turns out to be true? See, listen, you would have the facts, all right? You will have the facts to advise whatever that person is doing. And if your suspicion is true, no problem, what do you want to do now? Either two things. It's either you forgive or you end the relationship. If you cannot forgive, you end the relationship. Simple. What do you want to do? But my point is, until the person has presented himself to you, why do you want to go about suspecting? Let me tell you something. I said something earlier that people see the world not the way it is, but the way they are. Do you know that? Okay, no, that's not what I wanted to say. Do you know that the thoughts in your mind can create their own reality? Because you always suspect this person and you're looking for something, you will start finding pointers that will back up that your suspicion, even if it wasn't true in the first place. But because you have this suspicion, every other event you'll be interpreting. Take note, it is you, it's your interpretation. You'll be interpreting every other event in the light of your suspicion. So even when the person is innocent, you will make the person guilty. Then true to it, you will now see something that otherwise should have been harmless, but because you have filled your mind with suspicion, you will give it meanings and it will cause problems for your relationship. You see? I know several people have had to counsel where you say, oh, I think my partner is doing this. And I tell you, no, what if it's not that? What if it's this, something else? And true to it, by the time they engaged them, they discovered it was something completely different. And then I asked them, I said, okay, so what if you let all hell loose because you thought this is what she was doing? What if you did that? Only to find out later that that's not what she was doing. You see, you have hurt that person's feelings, you have hurt trust, all right? And then you're going to make it hard for that person to be free with you or to open up to you again. Because the last time, see how you took it left. You understand what I'm saying? So please, if you feel like your partner is doing shady dealings that you're not cool with, time is a revealer of intents and of people who they really are. Time. You don't have to start working up yourself. Be patient. After all, if you're not sleeping with him and you're not investing your full life into the person, or whether he or she, as the case may be, if you're not investing your full life and emotions and yourself into them sexually, you don't have a problem. You're still observing. Even though you guys are friends, you're still observing. If the person is showing you behaviors you cannot cope with, you bounce. I don't know why people know that they can get into a relationship. They just seem to forget that you can also get out of the relationship. If it's not making sense, you end it. You have a life to live. It's already past my time. I need to stop now. All right. So please, I've shared about 10 points on how to make your long distance relationship work. Okay, and don't forget, most of the points were on the premise that this is you guys are not married yet, okay? It's a premarital relationship. Okay, some other time I'll talk about how people who are married can also manage the distance in their marriage. All right, yeah, thank you so much, my dear. I need to stop now. We'll continue with question and answers tomorrow on our Telegram channel. So if you've not been there, you can look for us, Single and Ready Club, and please just go there and follow up, okay? And follow us on that channel. That's where we're going to host the question and answers, because there's so many questions people keep bringing, and many times I don't have the time to take them just once in a month. So I want to be doing that twice every month, okay, on Telegram, separate from the question and answers we would also do here on Instagram. So thank you so much, all of you who are part of this. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, like, share, consume the materials there. They are for you, okay, and also spread the word to every other person. Thank you so much. God bless you. I like to tell people that a blissful marriage is possible and you deserve it. God bless you. Have a wonderful rest of the evening. Bye.